right? Now we can simply call it. We can simply call it in our program also. Just copy this class name and go to AC38. Okay. So Z calling in class to program. I'm simply going to call it. So calling usual ABAP class to ABAP program. I'm simply calling it here. Executable package and transport request. So we need to declare the structures, right? Same to same structure we need to declare here. I will declare it. Structure should be same, otherwise we will get error. Employee ID, type its data element. Employee name, type its data element, right? Same thing from our table. Department and manager also, its data element. Then manager column also, its data element. Okay, pretty simple. Then we will go for declaration part. So LT employee, type table of TY employee, and we will go for work area declaration. This is what we do always. Type TY employee, right? Then we create parameters and select options. So let's create that. Parameter PMPID, type its data element. Then we go for select options. So select option SEMPID for my variable name. Let's declare that variable also. Data LVMPID, type data element of the variable. Okay, I have declared this variable for it. Now I am declaring the select option. This is what we do. Then we usually write the logic, and at last we display it. So loop at my LT employee into LS employee, and loop display the data, right? We display the data. So LS employee ID, then LS employee name, LS employee department, and LS employee manager. Okay, this is what we do. But where is my selection logic now? Selection logic is inside the method. We need to call it. How we are going to call our method? So I'll go for pattern. But what kind of class we have created? What kind of method we have created? This is the method that we have created is a method, instance method. We cannot access it from our class. We can class name. We need a object creation. So how to declare the object, or how to create the object? How to create the object? First thing, declare the object. Declare the object. Declare the object and then create it. First way is this. Another way is we can create the object using new keyword, which is the part of 7.4 syntax. Two ways are there. Let's see them. So I will go for declaration part. I'm going to simply declare my object data hello object, or hello object. Type ref2 keyword is used. Type ref2 keyword is used, and we pass the name of class here. Okay, we pass the name of the we pass the name of the class. Then we will go for create object hello underscore object. We go for create object hello underscore object. Okay, this is how we create it. Now I will call the method. So pattern ABAP object pattern, and here I am going to pass the instance name. What is the name of the instance? Hello object. Okay, object name hello object that we have created. Then we will pass the name of the class. So copy the name of the class and pass here. Then we have this method. So I will copy the name of the method and I will pass here. Okay, and press enter. See, something is here, right? So exporting comment on comment. I will first send the parameter PMP ID, and then I will bring the data importing in my LT employee, right? I'll bring it. Then I will uncomment the exceptions. So we have here 1. Let's write the logic for it. If size of RC is not equals to 0, I'm going to simply give a error message. So message employee data do not exist, type E for error. Otherwise I will give a success message. So message employee data exist, type success. Let's check that. This is going to call my method. Object name, can you see here? Object name arrow followed by method name. This is an instance method, arrow here. When you see a single arrow, it simply means it is a instance method. Go and execute it. I'm passing a parameter here. I'm clicking on execute. I'm getting the success message. What is happening here? If you want to check, put a debugger, execute, and go and check. Pass the value 101. Go and check it out. Desktop 3. Go inside this method. So click on F5. F5 will take you inside the method. Now you can check if P employee ID is not initial. This method is going to trigger, right? This method is going to trigger. It will return you some value here. It is going to return you some value. Okay, and it will get you the output. Employee data exists. It will return you the output. If you want, you can check the select option also. So we can pass the select option also. SEMP ID. For select option, we must pass these brackets. We have seen it in the function module. It is mandatory. We can pass the select option also. Now check this one also. Put a debugger here. Execute. And let's say I'm passing some value 101, 105. Execute button. I will go for desktop 3 here, right? And I will go inside it. Now again I will check if P employee is not initial. Yeah, it is not empty. But sorry, it is empty. So it will go for else if condition. It will go for else if. This logic will be triggered. It will return you data here. It is going to return you some data here, right? 5 records are coming, and then we will come out of the loop and we are getting this correct message, employee data exists, and we are getting the output, right? We are getting the output. So what if I am passing wrong result here? Let's say I'm passing some wrong value 110 up to 115. Execute. See, error message, employee data do not exist. It is working perfectly fine. Yeah. So this is your global class. Global class or usual ABAP class created from SE24. I have created a method, and this method was instance method. That is why we needed to create a object. But what if I am changing its property to a static method? Now if I am changing its property to static method, what is going to happen? Let's activate it, make it static. Now we don't need the objects here. We don't need the objects. We don't need the objects here. We can directly call our method using the class name, because static is the class property. Static is the class property. We can directly call it. We can directly call it. So go for it. Pattern, wrap object pattern. Here we don't need the objects now. Just pass the class name, method name, and press enter. See the clear difference. Here we have employee at sign, and here we add single arrow. Here we have employee at sign. So this is the clear difference between your instance method and static method. Static is the class property. We can directly access any of thing using the class name. This is the static property. We can directly access using the class name. The same thing is here. Now pass it. Pass your exporting parameter. Pass your exporting parameter. And import the data. Let's say LT employee. Pass the exceptions and activate it. Pass some value here. Let's say I'm passing 105. Execute. See, I'm getting the correct result still. Right? I'm getting the correct result. So whether you want, you can go for instance methods, or if you want, you can go for static method also. It's totally up to you which method you want to use here. Nobody is going to question on that. You can use any of them, totally depending upon the requirement. So any doubt here?
No.
No.
Is it clear? We can also declare it. We will see another kind of declaration also. But let's see the local classes now. So local classes are a type of class that is defined within the scope of another program or function module. We can directly define it, and its scope is we can only use it inside the same program only. How to define that? We have a declaration part, and then we have a implementation part, right? We have a declaration part, and then we have a implementation part. So I will go for that also. Let's go for it. Let's create another program. The local class. Okay, local class in ABAP programming. Okay, type I will go for executable package and transport request. So here I will again declare those structures. I will simply copy it from my previous program. Let's bring that. Oh, sorry, SC38. SC38. Calling class to program display. I'm simply going to use these parameters and select options up to this. Copy here. Here the select option. SEMP ID for my LVMP ID. LVMP ID. Perfect. Normal declaration. Then we go for class definition. Class definition. So first declaration of class. Okay. So I'm going to define same to same class here also. Class. Let's say I'm naming it employee data definition part. Class definition and class. Now in this class, what you are going to see, we will have sections here. Public section, private section, protected section, and private section. This is how we define it. So something which is public, it can be accessed in the child class. It can be accessed in the other classes also. Something which is protected, it can be accessed only inside the child class and the same class. Something which is private, it can be accessed only within this class. Even child class don't have that property. So public class, let's say I'm declaring a method here. So methods declaration part, this is the definition. Methods, you can define any number of methods here. Same to same, I'm going to define here. What was the name of our method? Employee details. Copy that, employee details. Then I will have importing parameter. Importing, I will name it let's say PEMPID, importing parameter, and its type I need. So what was the type of our select option that we have given? Just copy it, let's use it here. Okay, then exporting parameter we will also define. Same way, whatever interface is here, you can define it locally also. So exporting, then you can define the exporting parameter, LT table, its type, and you can give the exporting parameter also. Type. Okay, this is my method declaration. So this is your class definition. Then we will go for class implementation. So class emp data implementation and class. Okay, now here we are going to write the logic part. Here we are going to simply write the logic part. Okay, so method name is employee details, and in it you can write the logic. So select EMPID, EMP name. Just remember one thing, we are going to write the logic based on this importing and exporting parameters. Do not write logic based on this declaration part. Here our logic will be based on these things. Whenever you will call this method, then you are going to do all those stuff. Okay, so department manager, from your table name, which is employee table, into table my exporting parameter, which is LT table, its type is similar, where employee ID, EMPID, in my importing parameter PEMPID. Okay, so pass it here. It is going to return me some data. Class definition and class implementation, same thing I told. Class definition and class implementation, definition part and implementation part. Okay, definition part, then we will declare the start of selection, and we will define the object here. So there is another way to define the object. Data LOBJ is equal to new class name, new keyword class name, followed by parenthesis. You can define via this way, or you can define via the old syntax, which is LO, let's say LO object type ref2, first storing the reference of the class emp data, and then creating the object. So create object LO underscore object. Totally up to you whether you want to use this thing or whether you want to use this thing. This new is used mainly in C++ and Java programming. From there SAP has taken this reference. That's why we are using it. You can use it also. Okay, this is the definition, a creation of object. Now once object is created, I can call my method. So let's call it. We can use our syntax, call method, my object name LO object, and then arrow followed by method name, which is employee details, right? Employee details. Then we will have our exporting parameter. Exporting, what is the name of the parameter? P employee ID. So P EMP ID, we will export our data, which is SEMP ID. We will export, and we will import our internal table, LT table, is equal to my LT employee. We are going to import here. Okay. We can also check if size of RC is not equal to 0. RC not equals to 0. I will simply declare a error message. So employee ID is not correct. I'm going to declare a error message type E. Else I will declare a success message. So message employee data exists. Okay, type success. Then I will display it. So loop at LT employee into LS employee and loop and simply display the data. So write statement, column names, all the name of the columns that are here, employee name, department column, next column, right, all of them. So either you can call the method via this approach which we saw in the previous session, that when we call from pattern, in the same way it is called, or you can do one thing, you can call via new way also. There is a new way to call the method. The new way is hello object name, which is obj, and we will pass the method name, employee details, this will be obj, yeah, employee details, and in it we are going to pass the exporting keyword. Okay, exporting keyword here, PEMP ID is equal to my SEMP ID, and then I will pass importing the LT table is equal to LT employee. Okay, we can go for this way also. It's totally up to you how you want to call. Okay, you can use this way, you can use this way. Both of them are same thing. Let's check for syntax. No error. Activate it. I'm going to put a debugger over here. Execute. I will pass some input, correct one. 105. Execute it. Desktop 3. So this is my parameter. At this moment there is no result here. Now if you double click on hello object, go for it and check it. Hello object contains the attribute of my employee data, which is my table. See here, it is in this particular class, it contains this reference of this particular object of reference of this particular class. This is a object here, this is a object, right? Now if I go inside it, I will click on F5, it will take me inside the implementation part of class, and here we are going to get the result. So LT table will get the result. As soon as LT table will get the result, this result will be simply passed. This result will be simply passed to LT employee also. LT employee is getting result here. So size of RC is equal to 0, right? Size of RC is equal to 0. This error message will not be displayed. Success message will be displayed, and we will get the output, right? Check it. We are getting the output. If you will pass incorrect value here, you will get this error message. Check it. 111, 115. Click on execute. See, it's not coming. Why? There is some problem. Size of RC is still equal to 0. How is that possible? Let's check. 111, 115. Execute. Are we getting the data? No, but size of RC is 0. Okay, we can do one thing here. We can give if LT employee is not initial. If LT employee is not initial. That will be more okay. Is initial. Yeah. If it is empty, I will give the error message. If it is not empty, I will give the success message. Let's check. Execute. Pass the value. Execute it. See, employee ID is not correct, right? So local class versus global class. Local class versus global class. Global class, the scope of global class is everywhere. We can call it from any place, but local classes cannot be called from any other place. Local classes cannot be called from any other program. Okay. Any questions here? What is local and global class and all these things?
No, no questions.